Hey guys, and welcome back to scripting tutorial number 3 on expert series. This time we obviously, you see here, we have a tutorial about HTTP service. You might ask, what does that mean? So HTTP service, well, obviously there is service, and in order to use it, first of all, you need to check this box in HTTP enabled, and you might not see this service, so you then need to do model and of course select your place, and then you will need to insert a service and then press this and then those cock thingies, and then there should be one of this service this tab which would be called HTTP service, and you would just press insert. And yeah, let's continue. So what is HTTP service? So it's the service which is responsible for communicating with websites. And let me just fix my screen like that. Alright, so it has couple functions, it has no events. And first we're gonna show you, this is a cool one, generate UID things. So yeah, this one, come on, I'm gonna just write print like that, as you can see. And this generates some like serial number or something like that in curly brackets, and it's, you know, sometimes cool for generating some user ID things unique to only the user, and you can use it. As you can see, it's always random. And yeah, I'm gonna just clear the output. And yeah, this is a pretty cool service, you know. Just to create you can create like website in the website, something like I don't know, you should use your imagination. You can create a lot of things with this HTTP service, which are pretty cool, including leaderboards, but there is a better way. You can use just data store, and I think I mentioned it before. You just need to save servers data, like all the players data, all their values, and then just load them in every single server. I'm sure you can figure that out because it's expert serious. And yeah, let's continue then. So first thing is GetAsync. So this is how GetAsync works. You write some page's name, you know, string URL, so it's URL address, and for example google.com or example.com, no pun intended. And then it just there is no caching. For example, again, no pun intended, HTTP, because it's it has to be. If you didn't write any HTTPs, you might get an error called trust check failed or something like that, and that's the reason. So example .org. Well, actually, I think that's like legit website, and you can just write true. I'm not able. True. Yeah, like that. It would be no cache and do stuff. And you would want this to like set this to variable local page or something like that, and equals to this, and then we can just print the page, or you can do, if you do want with this, for example, make a like text thing, although it won't be very pleasing. Well, you'll soon know. Alright, yeah, you see some text. So as you can see, it's not very visual pleasing. You can just do that like so and make it a bit bigger, so you would see this one like that. And as you can see, not very pleasing. As I said, it's just HTML, which means hypertext markup language, and it's all the data, well, all those UI things, all those nice things, and it's a legit website, as I said. And I know it's not very pleasing, but this is how websites are made. Also, for this tutorial we don't need to play, we just need to run. So yeah, next time I'll do run, if I don't forget. So let me just move this out of the way, or maybe put it somewhere right here, so it won't just get in the way. Alright, so that was this, and you can use some like those more arguments, which is that variant thing. Let's see. So those headers, I think it's just pretty much stable, you know. You can write anything into it. I think this is how it works. So I'm gonna just move on to the next one, which is not setAsync, which it's PostAsync. PostAsync, and it has like a lot of variables. I mean those parameters or arguments. So URL, obviously we need to access something, string data, for example like strings, string value, you know, this is a string. TP content type, bool compress, you can just compress or something like that, and headers again that table. So yeah, it's a bit complicated, you know. GetAsync is much easier, it just gives you that HTML thing, just a table, yeah. So again, we would want to write this first of all, HTTP example.com. Another one would be, well, maybe we can try to write like this, slash test or something like that. Another one would be data, some data, I don't know. For example, this is some test data, and I think it can also be like a number. Another argument is content type, but I don't know if let's just stay with those two arguments, because they are pretty complicated. For example, that content type thing is like default one is application JSON, which is something related to JavaScript, and it just gets a bit complicated, you know. Another one is just compress this data, which is false by default, and another one is headers. So yeah, also you need to delete this because it doesn't work, and not play it but run it because it's a bit faster. And as you can see in the output, it just posted something, which is well, it's the same thing, but I think it did something because it returned something, or just, you know, this variable wasn't empty. Alright, so now it's time for a couple more functions which are related, well, again to JSON. And JSON means just not JSON but JSON, which means JavaScript object notation. So we are gonna create like a JSON table. So I think it's just pretty much like a regular table, something like this. So yeah, this is how we do it. So page, column, oh, maybe not page but HTTP column, and JSON encode and decode. So we both have inputs, you know, one is variant, which another one is string. So I think we need to use the encode one first, and we are gonna create it like a variable. So local JSON like table or something like that equals this, and we are gonna create like a table somewhere right here maybe. We'll just give it some space, and local my table or something like that equals those brackets, you know, and this is how those JSON tables work. So this my table equals or not my table also this, and should I enter here maybe cache or something like that equals 15, or maybe not local, and then of course I'm gonna delete those spaces because why not. My table I don't know, something like xp equals 99999 because I hacked something. My table thing ID equals something like that. You can just do like that. Just call dictionaries. You can just put things into things. This works. So we just gonna write my table, and it should do things, but it's not finished yet because this should be right here first of all. Alright, and then comma JSON table, and that's it, I guess. And we'll see how it goes. As you can see, at least there are no errors, although it's kind of hard to check if you didn't like, you know, went to the website and checked it manually. But I think you can check like this page get or something like that, and then you would obviously want to do like this, and we'll see how this goes. As you can see, it still didn't really do much, but I think you need to handle this from website in order to those things to work. When it, for example, gets like post something, then you would I don't know, do stuff. But this is not HTML tutorial or not JSON tutorial. This is just how to use this HTTP service tutorial and all those functions. So yeah, I could say that was pretty much it, but there is another function called JSON decode, you know. So yeah, although also I think I can just try to do this like that, and it probably won't work, but I'll try anyways. Yeah, as you can see, error 4, page not found. So yeah, where would you use it? For example, I would for basic people, I guess, for regular people, GetAsync is probably enough. You can just go to the website, right, and then take some information from it. For example, I don't know, random number generator, although there are a lot easier ways. You can just write math.random, but this is a possibility, yes. You can use HTTP instead, and this would work, yeah. Getting async, and then you know, all that stuff. Also, JSON decode. I'm gonna just write this. JSON decodes, as you can see, just is string input, you know, all that stuff, all those byte spaces things, just makes it into a string, you know, and then converts it to text and table. So yeah, this is how it works. I think. Come on, those brackets. So in order to, well, what is it? This, I would say, I would do like this, you know, page get async, and I would write here page get, and I'll print this. So yeah, this is how it would work. Of course, if it was the right function. And I obviously didn't write this correctly. Well, this doesn't work because there are like those weird brackets, you know, those things, and this isn't just supposed to be a table. For example, if I did this, where is it? Here. If I try to, well, decode my table, so you would just, it probably works only with website. So yeah, because you need the URL thing. So this is why it doesn't work, but I know you can just create a website and test yourself, kind of. I'm sure there are ways how to create like a blank website or something like that. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And yeah, there are many uses on that, especially with GetAsync. And if you don't want all that HTML stuff, let me just clear the output. You can use something like string patterns, which I'll teach you in the next tutorial, I think. But this is how it would work. So that's pretty much a sneak peek. So pattern or something like that equals something like %d percent or dot, something like that. This is like I'll explain later, and some letters like I, and you just print or something like that. Print page get column match pattern, like that. Well, at least I think this is how it works. So yeah, now I think that's it. No, definitely that's not it. So I'm just gonna delete all of this and talk about restrictions. So first of all, you cannot go to the Roblox websites, because Roblox, you know, doesn't really want to get DDoSed or something like that. Also, you can only use 500. I don't know if it's only. You can use 500, up to 500 requests per minute, all those in GetAsync, SetAsync, and I think that's about it. Well, of course, you need at the beginning either HTTP or HTTPS, and that's because you wouldn't get this trust check failed error. And now that's it. Now there's the last function, which I think I'll just do like that, and then print because it's pretty much the end and the ending. And oops, I'll do this and column assuming I wrote this correctly, URL encode, like that, then brackets. So what this does, it just creates pretty much you know, when you, well, maybe you don't know, but when you like try to Google something and in that URL bar or address bar, it's something like and in that place when you put a space, it's like %20 or something like that. So it pretty much does the same thing. Let me just show you, like, hi, my name is John, or something like that. And if you run and it prints something interesting. Hi, as you can see, it's the %2c, %20, as you can see, it's just a space. My, yeah, it just does that. It just replaces those so-called unsafe characters. All those, well, it just encodes. I don't want to get too technical, so yeah, that was pretty much it about this tutorial. If you have any questions, and I'm pretty sure you do, you can write in the comments. I'll try to answer them. And yeah, I'll see you next time, and goodbye.